This leader is provided to permit the projectionist to complete adjustment of focus and sound level before the film begins.
Hello there, welcome to Evaluative Criticism. I'm Mason Sandoval.
I'm Joseph.
Orzoff, yes.
That is me.
Today we're going to be talking about the Snyder Cut. I would say we're going to try to avoid spoilers, but let's be honest, the trailers kind of spoiled the entire movie.
Fucking movie. Whole
Plus,
thing.
I mean, if we're being honest, this is a 4-hour version of a movie that we've already seen a couple of years ago. It's basically the 2017 Justice League movie, but with a couple extra scenes here and there, with a bunch of slow-mo.
Yeah, with
and
1
an
hour
Instagram
of
filter.
slow-mo.
Yeah, and about half an hour's worth of slow motion.
Yeah, the movie would be significantly shorter with just no slow-mo.
Did you like this movie?
It's better than the original Justice League, I'll give it that much.
That's, you know, a compliment, I suppose.
It's something.
Question mark.
But I came out of it realizing that I cared about the characters.
There's something.
I got out of one of the scenes, probably Cyborg talking to his dad at some point. Ooh, big spoiler. But I thought to myself, like, I really care about this. I care about what he's going through. I care about Barry. You know, like, there's an emotional connection instead of, as opposed to the first one where it's
You know
nothing.
who I don't care about? Who I'm supposed to? Superman.
Yeah, that.
Because I didn't care that he died, and I certainly don't care that he's been resurrected, and I don't know why the rest of the world does in this movie, because the last one, they completely hated him.
Yeah.
I mean,
it makes no sense. And then
I don't understand why there's such an emotional attachment, why there's a fan base at all for Henry Cavill's Superman. I mean, if you thought that he had little to no personality in Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and what little bit he was there, albeit with the CGI face covering a mustache in the 2017 version of Justice League, boy, there's still not a personality now.
It was
Go ahead.
It was very bland Superman. It wasn't really Superman
There's
for me.
no personality there
whatsoever. The best thing I can give Henry Cavill, the best props I can give him, is when he's like, they give him material, like, he's trying, but he's not being given any material. It's
hardly
dog
any.
shit.
I mean,
and another thing I can give him is he looks the part for sure. Give him the curl and a better suit. Holy fuck! That picture, the behind the scenes picture when he was first cast and they used the real suit.
It
looked amazing.
Yeah.
But then they did what they did with his suit.
Not impressed.
He doesn't look like Superman. He doesn't feel like Superman.
I mean, Ben Affleck's over here. He's just like, Superman was a beacon.
He was a beacon. Who
was inspired by this guy?
There was one scene. I'll give them credit in Batman vs Superman. The scene where Superman is standing there looking away, and there's all those people trying to grab at him. They're like, you know, they're seeing him as this godlike figure, and they're like, holy fuck, I love
Lord
this guy.
knows Zack Snyder will let you know Superman is a Christ-like figure any second that he possibly can.
But in the original cut, in like the full cut of the movie, not the theatrical cut, there's a scene directly after that scene where Clark himself, just like, he's walking home or whatever, and he sits down and he calls his mom and he's like, hey, this happened, it's made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like, he just sits, like, it's a human thing. Like, it felt so much like Superman to me.
Just wish it was more simple.
My baby boy. Nothing was ever simple.
And then they cut it out. Like, they finally give him a Superman-y kind of thing to do, or a Clark thing.
They cut that out of
it's
the
out.
movie. Yeah.
So, by the end of the day, the theatrical cut, he doesn't feel like Superman, and it's fun.
In this movie, none of the heroes feel like heroes. I was telling you this earlier. The problem with the DCEU version of the Justice League in comparison to even like Shazam, but let alone the Avengers in the MCU, is that these guys don't really want to be superheroes.
No,
that's why
don't.
it takes 2.5 hours for the team to get together. And that's the main problem with the Snyder Cut. I love the fact that Zack Snyder was able to give the entirety of his vision in finally releasing this movie with as much fan support as he's gotten. Kudos to him. It does not need to be the length of a Lord of the Rings extended cut.
No,
it does not. I mean, there are scenes in here that go absolutely nowhere.
Like, if they cut out, first of all, the slow-mo is the biggest thing holding this movie back for me personally, but they cut out the slow-mo, they cut out some of the extra just bits they don't need, you know?
Yeah.
And then I mean, you could leave it there, and then that would be a much better movie already. But I don't know. There's just so many little things about this movie that combine into just one big. Why the fuck is that in this movie?
Yeah.
You know, that big ball.
It's a movie that's so long, it's split up into 8 parts.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't start getting good until halfway through the second part. As soon as we see that flashback sequence of all the ancient warriors of the world teaming up with the old gods and a fucking Green Lantern, which was amazing, taking on Darkseid, who should have been the main villain of this. I mean, Steppenwolf is a god-awful villain.
If this movie was a Darkseid, Darkseid's the villain. Steppenwolf maybe is like only there during part 1.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck. And Darkseid
not even there. Steppenwolf's not there. It's Darkseid instead.
Yeah, if it's just him,
much better
fuck
movie.
It. Keep it 4 hours then.
Yeah,
if it's
exactly.
just Darkseid the whole time, fuck it. I don't care. But Steppenwolf is just not that engaging.
And the fact that it's 4
Darkseid.
hours of about maybe 3.5 of those hours, we've seen footage for.
Yeah.
By now, either in the original cut, in all 5 of the trailers for the original Snyder Cut, as well as the marketing for this film, in addition to the stuff that Zack Snyder has released over the past 3 years, just like leaked onto his
all of his
Vimeo.
clips and all of the trailers and everything combined. We
We've seen
basically
it all.
saw the movie before it came out.
Yeah, except for what little that they rendered in, and good God, the CGI in this movie.
Can I give out a spoiler?
By all means,
it's about
go ahead.
Cyborg's dad.
Yeah, that's fine.
the
That's a
spoiler.
very minor spoiler, by all means.
The very end spoiler.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, it's really inconsequential. It's so meaningless. But before the movie came out, I knew Silas was gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna die. There's that shot of him where he's dying, and it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
They literally have a death scene in a trailer, like in a trailer.
There's literally a
death scene.
shot in the past trailer where they flash forward in like a nightmare like future flashback or flash forward.
Yeah.
To Wonder Woman dying.
Yeah.
They show that in a fucking trailer.
In the trailer.
What the fuck?
Their advertising is just dog shit.
And you're expecting
Another
that to
thing.
be a major part of the movie. It's not. It's just.
It's like a nightmare. Like this could happen in the future, or this did.
Every
happen in the
interesting
future,
movie,
whatever.
every interesting part in this movie ends up being a dream.
Yeah.
And that's kind of infuriating. I will
It's-
say this though, while we're talking about dreams, boy, listen, I hated Jared Leto's Joker
There it is.
more than I possibly should. How most people feel about George Clooney as Batman, I feel
like it's worse.
it's so much worse. Oh my god!
I feel like people are warming up to Clooney.
It is the most
Leto's.
disrespectful thing to have ever been done to the Joker.
I am not someone who is loved. I'm an idea.
Yeah, that it was.
But in this movie,
It was awful.
But in this movie,
Suicide Squad.
so good.
He redeemed himself.
He totally redeemed himself.
Total
He
redemption.
has wonderful chemistry with Ben Affleck.
Now, how many dead eyes can you look into before you die inside yourself?
I've been dead inside a long time.
Ben Affleck has he like, I would also say Aquaman is underutilized. More on him in a second. But Ben Affleck's Batman is so underutilized. He really doesn't start kicking ass until 3 hours in.
Yeah, it's sad. to see
However,
Batman
that when
in
he's
light.
out of the suit, when he's Bruce Wayne, he's great. He's having a wonderful rapport with Alfred, a wonderful rapport with the Joker.
With Diana, even.
With Diana, this little will they won't they, they're harkening back to Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
I loved that. That show was my childhood. That
it felt
show was
like
the
it.
gold standard
Yeah,
for
like,
Justice League,
'cause,
I
like,
think.
This is what I was going to mention earlier, but it slipped my mind. Like, in the Whedon scenes where they have that scene of them drinking together in the costume, and then, like, she takes off part of Bruce's batsuit, that felt so forced. You know, it didn't feel like that Justice League Unlimited feeling between Bruce and Diana.
You know, we never did get to finish our dance.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you say so. But you're still taking me dancing.
With all the Whedon shit cut out, and it's just, like, it feels so much more like that vibe of, like, a more subtle, like, will they? Well, who
Yeah,
knows,
you never know. There's
You
an
don't
awkward
know.
moment where they're, like, about to touch hands. And
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
my bad.
Happens all the time.
Almost touched that. It's natural.
And then, like, in Whedon's, it's just like, let me take off your shirt and have a drink with
Yeah,
you.
let me give
and,
you
like,
a fucking massage, Bruce.
yeah, it's like, come on.
Let's ease
It's
it up a
way
little
too- it's
bit there.
fucking-
Okay?
That's like how they should look if you're certain, like, oh, they're together.
I'd say for as much
not at
hype
all.
that was built around the film, did it live up to it? Joey, I want you to answer that question first. 'Cause I don't have an answer yet.
My personal view of what I wanted that movie to be and what I expected it to be, it lived up to it absolutely. I expected it to be better than the original's Joss Whedon Justice League, if you will.
Yeah.
But I did not expect it to be some masterpiece. I did not think it was going to be...
Ray Fisher called it a study of the human condition. Settle the fuck down.
Buddy.
This is why you're not working.
Did you watch the same movie as me? Here's the thing. If they did what they were trying to do successfully, like the scenes that they were what they were trying to convey between Victor and his dad,
yeah,
and between Barry and his dad, all of these like fatherly storylines and like the plot lines with all these characters, if all of them were done correctly and more, I don't know, like,
but they're just
if it was more in depth, I could say like, yeah, that's definitely a study of the human condition. But this fucking isn't. It's not that thorough. It's not that in depth.
Good God.
It feels more like they had a Justice League movie and they were like, well, let's make it a
maybe
little
we
bit
should
more
try
personal.
to humanize these characters.
Yeah,
so
like
an
at the
audience
last minute
grows
almost.
attached to them.
Yeah. Although I must say,
yes,
they did a damn good job doing that with Barry.
They did. Oh my God,
I cared
Ezra
about
Miller
Barry
is
so much.
great
Ezra
in
Miller
this
killed
film.
That-
He really fucking crushed it in this film.
That scene after he's saving Iris and then
Yeah.
he runs back to the dogs and he's just like, so when do I start?
Yeah.
That whole interaction, that was Barry.
That's Barry
I
fucking
saw
Allen.
Barry Allen there.
Yeah.
I didn't see Wally West like in Justice League.
Yeah.
I saw fucking Barry Allen right there.
I get why they casted this motherfucker now.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
I genuinely do. Aquaman was so underutilized, though.
I feel so bad for Jason
He was
Momoa.
just there, and
he was just
stuck
there.
having to act alongside Amber Heard, Johnny Depp's abuser.
Why is she even there?
This fucking cast, could Zack Snyder have chosen like a more problematic cast? Good God, chosen, you grammar Nazi, shut the fuck up. But chosen a much more problematic cast. You have Ben Affleck, who's recovering from rehab. You got Jared fucking Leto, who's a cult leader now, which is just lovely. You have Amber Heard, Johnny Depp's a beater, and then in addition to that, you have fucking Ezra Miller, who's decking women every now and then. Boy, oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It actually, in the sequel to the Snyder Cut, it just got revealed that Kevin Spacey will be reprising his role as Lex Luthor. Yeah.
No way. I heard Harvey Weinstein's producing it too.
Wonder Woman's new theme.
Boy.
Wonder Woman's eyebrows alone.
The music of this movie we can go back to the eyebrows, but the music,
It's good in some parts.
it is, admittedly.
This version of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman feels like, yeah, fucking Maeve from The Boys. Like,
Actually, Queen Maeve is probably nicer than Wonder Woman.
honestly, she is.
It's okay, it's over. You can stand up. It's all good.
I liked what they did with Jesse Eisenberg. I liked that they brought him back for one. I liked they made him a little bit more toned down.
Yeah.
And they explained why. They explained that like he was in Arkham Asylum, and they actually, I guess, cured one patient for fucking once.
Yeah.
And like now he's a lot more chill, and you know.
I kind of wish. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I kind of wish that when he came out, maybe he had been when he was in there for like a year. You know.
Yeah.
That does something to you.
Yeah.
I wish that at that point he was just like the Lex we know.
He's getting there.
Because like a year in there, that'll affect you. That'll change you.
He's almost there. I mean, credit where credit's due. This movie redeemed both Jared Leto's Joker and Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor in the span of 15 minutes.
This movie, yeah,
Very well done.
for me, this movie's like all about redemption, like redeeming like these different characters. Because Steppenwolf in the first Justice League, dog shit. This one, not
just
that great.
dull.
He's still Steppenwolf, but there was still a bit more. Like I liked his interactions with Desaad and Darkseid.
Everything with Darkseid was amazing.
giving more background to his character, and then everyone else is getting redeemed too.
The supporting cast, though, was amazing. Diane Lane has some wonderful scenes with Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons is a fucking amazing
Fucking
Alfred.
knock it out of the park.
Again,
Alfred.
we have never had a bad Alfred casting.
That's true.
Not one.
That is true. Yeah, you're
Every
right.
single version of Alfred, amazing.
It's pretty hard to fuck up being a nice British guy.
Yeah,
or English guy rather.
But by and large, if you're a DC fan, of course you should check out the Snyder Cut. If you're a DC hater, boy, you're gonna have some material.
Oh, yeah.
But if you got the balls to take on this movie and go through all 4 hours and 2 minutes of it,
If you got
have
through,
at thee.
if you got through Suicide Squad and the original Justice League, you'll be fine.
You'll be perfectly fine.
You might even
if
enjoy
If you can
yourself a
slug
little.
your way through the mediocrity that is The Irishman, you can probably go through this.
I still haven't seen that one.
You're
The
good.
Irishman?
You're fine.
I didn't-
Watch Goodfellas twice. There you have it.
I'll just watch Godfather 1 and 2, and that's...
Should you watch this movie? That's really up to you. I think
personally, if you're into DC, yeah.
if you like superhero movies, check it out.
Because that's another thing for me that I noticed. Because even with the original Justice League movie, I had the same feeling where, well, these are characters I know. I like the Flash. I like Cyborg. I like Green.
But what if you don't know these characters? What if you don't like them? This isn't a good jumping off point. This isn't a good
Not at all.
vehicle into getting into DC or these characters.
If you don't like DC and you're trying to jump into this movie, you're gonna have a bad time. You're not.
Check out the
you're not gonna
cartoon.
enjoy
Check
it.
out something else.
Yeah,
instead.
watch like Young Justice. Watch Justice League Unlimited.
go.
Watch Batman the
Yeah.
Animated Series.
Exactly.
Superman the Animated Series.
Yeah. Watch the CW.
Yeah.
you know?
Watch Arrow. Watch the Flash. You know, anything but the DCEU to jump in. Watch the Dark Knight trilogy. You know.
But please do not call this movie a study of the human condition.
It is not. It is.
Let's not make this movie sound like it's the greatest comic book movie of all time. It isn't.
It's an
It's
average,
not Logan. It's
not at
not
all.
Joker.
Not
it's
at
not
all.
The Dark Knight.
Nowhere close.
It's not Endgame. But I will say this. It's its own thing.
It is.
This is definitely...
It feels unique.
It doesn't feel like it's trying to be Marvel. So
Not
credit
at all.
where credit's due.
It feels like its own thing.
I
which
think
is
as a
great.
whole, given everything that he's had to endure, given every single card that was on his table, in his deck, if you will, Zack Snyder did a great job.
He did. He really did. He
So
did.
I applaud him on that. There was a lot that he had to do.
Yeah. And he did a
I'd say
good job
he
with what he was
accomplished
given.
most of it.
Absolutely.
Warner Bros. Good save.
Fuck you.
Decent save. With that being
Decent
said,
save. Good job, guys.
I'm Mason Sandoval.
I'm Joseph Warzone.
Thank you very much for listening to Evaluative Criticism. I will see you next time.